Hi everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to a very long overdue episode of Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. There is a reason for that, and while I'm doing this part of the layout that actually doesn't end up in the layout, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it just so you guys know. I really haven't been here. Most of the things I had up in March and February were pre-done. Unfortunately, my mother became very ill in January, and she passed away on April 8th. So I just really obviously haven't been around. It's been a week now, over a week, and I did want to get back into this. This brings me joy. I love sharing my process with you guys, and I hope you enjoy watching it. And so I didn't want to just stop working on process videos just because, you know, my life isn't super awesome at the moment. Alright, let's move on with the actual process video. I'm using a combination of this 3x4 cut apart from the Whatever collection from Simple Stories, along with this October 2016 Felicity Jane papers. I've mentioned several times before, I know, that I don't usually order the kits. I just get the paper pack, which does include usually it's 6x12 cut apart stickers. Now this sketch that we're using, sorry, I forgot the word sketch for a second. The sketch that we're using is from Susan Stringfellow, and it's very cute with two 4x6. I am choosing to do a layout, not a super fun occurrence. 4 months after my best friend got her car, she was brand new car, 2017. She was rear-ended, and it was actually in December of 2016 that this happened. So less than 4 months after she got her car, she was rear-ended. It's all fixed and pretty now, but she was pretty unhappy for a bit. So in this sketch, there are two big blocks of pattern paper behind the photos, and I'm trying to decide what to use, and I go with this multicolor banner piece and then this other piece that kind of looks almost like either a burlap pattern but in an aqua. And this is one of the things where hindsight is 20/20, and I wish that I had done the banner piece in front of the burlap piece rather than the way I did it, which is the burlap in front of the banner. I did take my Stampin' Up! Border punch and go ahead and do that on that burlap piece. It kind of mimics the line of the banners in the banner pattern piece of paper, and it just softens it up a little. Now, in the beginning of the video when I was talking about, you know, my personal stuff, I was using some shimmers. I think they're called, what are they? They're not textures, they're the others. I don't remember. They're the ones that are shiny. They're a texture paste that is shiny. And I used that chevron-y mask to use it to make the silver because I'm doing this layout about a car accident. I didn't want to use my normal flowers or hearts or circles. I wanted something that had more of an edge to it, and I couldn't find anything in my embellishments. And that's why I ended up doing that on the vellum, thinking that it would be the look I was going for. I always forget though that that one is a mask, not a stencil, and it does the reverse. So it's not until I go to cut it out in a little bit that I realize it's not the look I'm going for. Now I'm using these papers, and these are all from the Felicity Jane. The only non-Felicity Jane paper I used was that cut apart, and I can't remember right now if I actually ended up using it or not. I guess we'll see. I did use one of the cut-aparts from the Felicity Jane kit to make that tag that's in the lower left-hand side. I just trimmed off the angled bits using a tag I already have, and I'm basically following the sketch here just with what I have in my own stash. And here's where these are now dry. Oh, they're called Dazzlers. That's what they're called. And so what I'm trying to do is just cut out sections of it that will give it that chevron look. And what I didn't want, because in the sketch the embellishments were on the larger side, I didn't want them to be super solid. So that's why I was trying to look for the vellum with just solid pieces on top of it, because I thought it would work well. And I'm cutting it out and I'm not loving it. I'm just kind of like, meh, I don't know. But I'm like, maybe it'll look better with the third piece. No, I really don't like it. I just don't like it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So I decided what I'm going to do is look for my background cardstock. And I'm still thinking, I'm thinking. It's kind of funny. I don't normally leave my twiddling thumbs, but there's a whole point to this. When I go over and reach for some cardstock to do as my background piece, these white cut files that I had cut out a while back fell out because for some reason I had stuck them in there, and my dog says hello. So while I'm looking to see, and here's where I find them right now. Or, yeah, see, there they are. But I decide that white cardstock isn't what I want. Instead, I want this dark gray cardstock. I know it reads black in the video, but it actually is a dark gray. And that's what I'm going to end up using for my background piece. And I do end up using these chevron-y pieces cut apart as the embellishment. And it's funny, my friend Susan said they kind of look like crushed bumpers. So I thought that was actually unintentional, but it kind of worked out well in the end. Now I do differentiate a little bit from the sketch in that my embellishment cluster, instead of having it two next to each other and one above, I do move the third one down to the lower left hand side where my title is going to go, just because I thought it looked better for my layout. Now, I have not been scrapbooking a lot, obviously. Obviously, I've been going through some other things. So I don't know if I mentioned I did buy new caps for my regular Scotch quick dry adhesive bottle rather than buying the the whole bottle system. And I did take several of your tips, that's the word I'm looking for, tips, and I added some water to it, and so far it has worked perfectly. So thank you guys very much for that tip. I'm using this scalloped sticker, and that came in the Felicity Jane kit as part of the cut apart stickers, or that could have been a branding strip. I don't remember. There was both a sticker and a branding strip that looked like that, so I just don't remember which one that is. Okay, so now I'm looking to do my title, and I start off with this white foam thicker, but I don't have an H, and there wasn't anything I could turn into an H, so instead I go with these Alex thickers, and these are a white card chipboard one with a very skinny silver stripe. So it went well, and I like that particular one. I just was looking for something that was going to highly contrast the dark cardstock. Now I'm moving to do my journaling, and these little cardstock journaling spots, they're not stickers, you have to use tape on them. So I'm just going to nestle that in between the bottom of the pattern paper and the title. And now I'm using a bunch of these word stickers, and I'm trying to, obviously this isn't a happy moment in life, so I'm doing things like right now and for real and, keeping it real and stuff like that. Just nothing happy. So a couple of them I'm having to kind of trim the words just so, like, I don't remember exactly what it said, but I did have to trim one off because it was something about smiling or happy or something like that. So obviously that wasn't. So I'm using those a bunch down by the title and then a couple up by where the journaling is going to be. And I also used a couple of the asterisks from the Alex font for some embellishment as well. Because I'm using a bunch of different bold patterns and that chevron piece is so large, I wanted to keep the rest of my embellishments on the simple side. Alright, it is time for the journaling, and as I mentioned before, it's just a layout about my best friend's car and the poor damage it got just a little bit after it had been purchased. So it's pretty simple, straightforward journaling on that little cardstock piece. And once I do that, I'm pretty sure I'm close to the end here. I just want to make sure Christy had her version of this up weeks ago, and she had a baby. So please make sure you go over and check out her layout. I will put the video link in the description box. And thank you guys again for, being okay with me not doing a lot in the past month. Hopefully I'll be getting back to it soon. I'm finishing up with some misting in concrete, and that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. Don't forget to check out Christy's video. Please flick me a thumbs up if you can, and of course I have to add some enamel dots. These ones are glitter ones I got as part of a deal from Peachy Sheep. So bye everyone, bye!